All right, Botai, welcome everyone. We're about to start, and that is like this. I'd like to share with you a Kli HaKar, what he writes, something amazing. He says, if you look in Perek Zayin, it speaks about Noach, and it says, "Vayomer Adonai Noach, bo ata v'chol betecha lateva, ki otcha ra'iti, tzadik lefanai bador hazeh." Hashem says, "Ki otcha ra'iti, I saw you, Noach, tzadik lefanai bador hazeh." What does it mean? Tzadik lefanai. What does that mean, Malkiel? That what? You're a tzaddik in front of me. I mean, isn't everything in front of Hashem? Isn't everything in front of Hashem? So it's kind of funny over here. It's saying, oh, by the way, Hashem is saying, by the way, I saw the generation I see. You're a tzaddik in front of me. Just say tzaddik. Why are you saying tzaddik in front of me? I'm saying Hashem is talking, saying, compared to everyone, but you're a tzaddik in front of me. Compared to everybody else, just say you're a tzaddik. Obviously, he's compared to everybody else. So he's talking about the torah mapul. That's what he's talking about. So you hear the question: why does it say tzaddik lefanai? So the answer Kli HaKar says is like this. You have to know. You hear Rabbi Jamal? You hear the great question, no? The answer he says is like this. He says in the torah mapul, what were people doing? People were saying, you know what? What's going to be? What's going to be is like this. People were saying to themselves, if I steal less than a pruta, even if they take me to a bet din, they can't catch me. Bet din is not mechayev me. They're not going to obligate me if I steal this amount. So what were they doing? They were constantly, the generation said, you know what, beautiful. Everybody, let's go to his store. Let's steal a certain almond, one almond. You take one almond, you take one almond, you take one almond, you take one almond. And like this, that's it. The guy who got out of business 2 seconds. He's a competitor across the street. He gets all his friends. Says, this guy's competing against me. He just opened up a new store. You know what? Great. Let's just go over here. Take an almond, and call it a day. So therefore, they went to Bet Din. The guy took the guy, oh, take me to Bet Din. Take me to Bet Din. They all sat, they all did, they all this, that. They all went to Bet Din. And what? Bet Din said, oh, you guys are all not obligated. Why? Because what you stole was less than your responsibility to mechayev you, to obligate you. And they would go out free. But what? So in front of the people, when they came out of Bet Din, oh look, they didn't do anything wrong. But in front of Hashem, they did something wrong. Noach was such a tzaddik that Hashem's saying, not only were you tzaddik in front of everybody, but you were also tzaddik in front of me. You didn't steal anything. Now it was even less than a sheva pruta, less than anything. You hear what's going on over here? It's a beautiful point. He's saying, tzaddik lefanai, obviously he's a tzaddik lefanai. Obviously he's a tzaddik in front of you. Everything's in front of Hashem. He says, yeah, but sometimes in life, in front of people, you might look good. But what about in front of Hashem? What about in front of Hashem? I always say a story. I love this story. In front of people, you look the best. I'll never forget. There was one lady. I was on the phone with one of the guys. I was on the phone. How you doing? How's everything? So the lady on the phone screams out, "Oh, is that Rabbi Palacci?" Says, "Yeah, he's on the phone. Yeah." So, "Oh, let me speak to him, please." So she gets on the phone, thank you. She gets on the phone and she says, "Hi Rabbi, how are you?" I was like, "Oh, by the way, your husband is such a tzaddik. In the shul he does this, in the shul he does that." And she says, "Rabbi, if I just tell you what he does at home, Rabbi, if I just tell you what he does at home, trust me, you wouldn't call him tzaddik." This is what she's telling. I was like, I couldn't believe it. But it was wrong of her to not throw her husband off the bus. But at the end of the day, you get my point. Tzaddik has to be to everyone and anyone. It's not only tzaddik in front of the people when you go into the shul, or tzaddik in front of your family members. It's even tzaddik at home. One of the rabbis in the Gemara says, they asked him. The Gemara says, they asked the Rabbi, his name was Rav Ada Bar Ahava. Rav Ada Bar Ahava. They asked him, Rabbi, you lived such a long life. How'd you live such a long life? And he gives a list of things. Right? Where is it? Which page? You know which page? Yeah, which page? Kaf Amud Bet. Kaf Amud Bet. I believe it's Kaf Amud Bet. Right? Over there. Right? So it says over there that what? That that Rav Ada Bar Hava, he says, how'd you get such long life? So the first thing it says over there is, it says that he wasn't makpid in his house. He has a list, but the first thing he says, he didn't have hakpada in his house. Meaning to say, if his wife did something wrong, or whatever it is, she burnt the children, anything like that, or anything would have happen, she never went crazy in his house. He never went crazy in his house. Some people, go crazy, right? But he in his house, Lord Pati. In his house, he understood he's not going to get angry, not going to bring out anger. That's what it was. That's the first thing he said that got long life. And what? In the shul, everyone knew him. Wow. Tzaddik, Ravada Barav. Right? What about in the house? First thing, tzaddik. So yeah, you could be a tzaddik, but what about inside the home? What about inside the home? Sometimes a person does hesed, the biggest hesed everywhere. But when it comes to his own relatives, when it comes to his own blood relatives, how's he acting? You understand what's going on over here? Rabotai, yeah. So therefore, what is the pasuk teaching us? You have to be a tzaddik in front of everyone. And over here, what is it saying? He's saying that what? What does it mean? Ra'iti tzaddik lefanai. Hashem saw he's a tzaddik in front of him. What does it mean he saw him as tzaddik in front of him? Tzaddik in front of him doesn't mean what? When he's in front of him, obviously everything's in front of Hashem. It says, not only in front of the people, but also in front of Hashem. But the other people, they were being tzaddikim in front of everybody else. Look, they stole less than a peruta. They're not hayab. They come out of betin. Yeah, who won? I won. What do you mean? I'm winning. Oh, well, you're a big tzaddik. But we're not in front of Hashem. Hashem really, really knew the truth. That's the first lesson. First lesson, a person must understand that in life, you have to understand that you inside of you, you have to be a tzaddik not only in front of the people, but not only in front of Hashem, in front of the people, in front of everyone. That's what he's saying. He's saying, tzaddik lefanai, in front of the people, what about in front of Hashem? In front of Hashem as well. Hashem knows what you're doing in private. Hashem knows what you're doing when nobody's looking. Hashem knows, and He's the only one who knows. The Gemara says, if a person in private, he does avirah in private, it says, it's like you're not respecting the kavod of Hashem. You don't believe Hashem exists, so you're dochek de raglei hashechinah. That's what it says. It says, where is it? The second perek of Masechet Hagigah. Give me Hagigah, please. You have a Hagigah over there? I'll show you. The Gemara says right there, and Masechet Berachot also. Is it there or no? That's Berachot. Okay. All right, forget it. Kadash, forget it. But that's what the Gemara says. Gemara in second perek of Masechet Hagigah, the beginning. It says, what does it say? It says, what does it mean if you do a avirah beseter? You think Hashem's not looking at you? It's like you're dohek de raglei hashechinah. You're pushing the raglei hashechinah. Give it to me, please. That's what it says. You found it? Here. Let me see. Look what it says. It's an amazing thing. Why? Because Hashem is everywhere. Don't think, we all know that. But I'm saying over here, he's saying over here. Here, look at what it says over here. Now. So he writes. Kol ha'over avera beseter, it's on Tedzayin Amud Aleph. Anybody who does avera in hiding, nobody's looking. Ki'il dochek raglei hashechinah. It's like you're pushing Hashem's feet. You don't care about Hashem, you're pushing Hashem's feet. It's a wild thing. This is what it is. Noach says he was a tzaddik lefanai. The Kli Yakad is telling you that not only in front of the people, but in front of Hashem as well. Next. I'd like to discuss one more, and that is, it says that if there would ever be a Mabul again, Hashem will never make a Mabul to destroy the world. How do we know that? It says, what did he say at the end of the what does Parashat say? What is he going to put out? A what? A rainbow. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Why a rainbow? Why pick a rainbow? Why pick a rainbow? Why anything else? Pick something else. I don't know. Show me something else. A rainbow? What does a rainbow have to do with anything? So I saw a shot like this. It says like this. The Gemara in Daf Hey Amud Aleph in Masechet Berachot says, you always, if the Yetzer Hara is trying to get you, always fight a war. Rabbi Jamal and I were in yeshiva together, and I remember that one time we had a Rebbe and he would tell us if the Yetzer Hara is ever what's it called, messing around with you, telling you do this, do that, do that. What do? You get up, you scream back at him. And we had a guy in the yeshiva, right? And once in a while, you hear the walls banging, like, what's going on? What's going on? He said, my Yetzer Hara is telling me to do this. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to win this water. And he's begging, Yetzer Hara, I'm not going to do it. You remember you were in Medrash. You told me that. I remember we were in the dorm and we were there. And there's a guy over there screaming, Yetzer Hara, I'm not going to do it. I don't care. He's banging on the wall. So he says, what do? Rashi says, look at Rashi. Sheyaseh milchama im Yetzer Hara. Rashi, second Rashi on the page on Daf Hey Amud Aleph. Look it up. Rashi says exact words. Sheyaseh milchama im Yetzer Hara. Make a war against the Yetzer Hara. Make a war. You know what a war is? You know Israel. You know what a war is? Bombs and missiles, and they completely destroy the enemy. Yeah, that's war. They completely destroy the enemy. He says, make a war again. And the Yetzer Hara says, okay, I'm going to scream now. My wife go crazy. Huh? He said, no. Go strong. I want to fight. There's been a Shammai. It's a lot of things, especially also in business. In business, I'm telling you, the last 3-4 days, when people call me up for business things, what's going on? It's crazy. This guy, they're fighting in business. This guy, this in business. That guy, that business. And a guy, I'm talking about. He lent the guy about. It was a few times. There was been 2 business partners now. They're telling me they're fighting, they don't stop. And he's like, you don't understand, Rabbi. You don't know what I did for this guy. I put him on the map. Like he lent him some money, and then it was a whole balagan, and it could be a war. And you have to be strong enough to say, Yetzer Hara, I'm not falling in. And a lot of times it says one of the dinim is going to be in Shamayim is, were you honest in business? Were you honest in business? It's not. I don't know if it's easy. I don't know if it's the guys who want business understand. Like, there's a lot of things come up. Were you honest in business? And if the Yetzer Hara is playing games and making a war and doing this and that, you stop him, you fight him, and you do it. Because you know how you fight him in business? Should I tell you? Very simple. If you really believe 100% that everything and anything that's meant for you will come to you no matter what. So no matter how straight and honest you are in business, it will come back to you. Time and time again, I see people fighting over this, fighting over that. Tell the guy, don't worry. Rightfully so. They have good claims. Both of them have great claims. And they're both 100% right. Each one in their own way. So I said, whatever's going to happen to the case, they went to a bet din, whatever it is. I said, whatever's going to happen to the case, I'm telling you in advance, we don't like going to the bet din and fight. Even bet din doesn't like when you have to go to them. You know what I'm saying? You try to work it out. That's the best thing. It says, even whatever happens, just know whatever is meant for you is going to come back to you no matter what. It will come back no matter what. Time and time again. This person lost that, and he should know, came back. He says, Rabbi, you don't understand, it came back. One guy was telling me he was dealing with Amazon. He said he lost like a $6,000 order. He says he's going crazy. Where is the pallet? Where's the pallet? We were talking. He wrote one check to Derech Emet. No joke. I'm telling you, it's a true story. All right? I told him what's the Maaseh, whatever it was. It wasn't a lot. It was like, I don't know, a few $100, whatever it was. He wrote it. He says that day he found it. I said, if it's meant for you, it's going to come back to you. You have nothing to worry about. It's true, Maisa. One of the guys over here, he wrote a check. He says, this is for Derech. I said, what should I do? $6,000 power. I need the power. I was like, listen. If it's meant to you, it's going to come back. But if you want to give a chizuk push, give a small thing. He gave it to Derech, he gave a small check. He said, okay, I'm going to take this, scoot this, you're going to find. And he found it the second he went to work that day. Because if it's meant, it's meant. And that's what he's telling you. Make a war against the Yetzer Hara. Don't let him get you. Now, if he's getting you, what should you do? If you're getting you, what should you do? It says, what should you do? Huh? There's 2 things. Little more. The Gemara says 3 things. What does the Gemara say? Little more Torah, Kriyat Shema, and the last thing it says, remember the day of death. That's what it says. First thing it says, if you win the Yetzer Hara, great. If not, learn Torah. Yasok b'Torah. If it didn't work, say Kriyat Shema. If it didn't work, what does it say? Remember, everyone's going to die one day. Fight the Yetzer Hara with a war. I'm fighting. I can't beat him. Sit and shtai, can't beat him. Kriyat Shema, can't beat him. Remember, every day, everyone's going to die one day, and they're going to have to give the Din Cheshbon. That's what the Gemara says on Daf Amud Aleph. Now, what does it have to do with the rainbow? How do you say rainbow in Hebrew? Keshet. How do you spell keshet? Kuf Shin Tav. That's keshet. What is Hashem doing? He says, I'm going to show you a keshet. What's the keshet? You see the mabul, right? You see people dying, you see people dead. Yeah, but that's the last resort. Go to the resort that's before that. And what is that? Saying the Kiryat Shema, Keshet, Kufshun Kiryat Shema, and Tav is the Torah. Go. The Hashem is reminding you, look, I'm destroying the world. You remember? That's why. You're not supposed to, in Al-Pidin, you're not supposed to say, oh guys, check it out, there's a rainbow. You're not supposed to do that al pi halacha. It's on the same daf, Ted Zayin Amud Aleph in Mesei Hagigah. So you're not supposed to say, oh guys, there's a rainbow outside. Why? Because at that moment, really you have to be thinking, HaKadosh Baruch Hu really wants to destroy the world, the Mabul. He really wants to destroy the world, Mabul. So what does he do? He puts out what? A rainbow to remind the people. Yeah, you're reminded the people are dying, but remember before that, how do you fight the Yetzer Hara? You fight them as much as you can. If not, say the Kriyat Shema, learn the Torah. Remember the Keshet, Kriyat Shema and the Torah, to get yourself involved in it. Get yourself involved in it. This is what it is, the Keshet, not just rainbow. Rainbow, remember that Hashem Tevot of Kriyat Shema and the Torah. Remember that. The next time you see a rainbow, it's like, what's going on over it? This is crazy. Yeah, people dying, you're right, this, that. But don't forget, when you get involved with the Kriyat Shema, you know what it means. Not just saying the Kriyat Shema, it's knowing what the Kriyat Shema means. Do you love Hashem with all your heart? Do you love God with all your heart? Maybe you don't, maybe you do. It's not just saying the Kriyat Shema, it's living the Kriyat Shema. That's what it is. Now, the third point I'd like to discuss today, and this is the final point, is like this. This is it. It says in the pasuk over here, 3 times Noach, and it says that Noach matzachem b'nei Hashem. Everybody knows that it says Noach matzachem b'nei Hashem. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about chen. Chen is a charm. The Gemara says there's 3 types of chen. There's 3 types of charms. One is chen makom al yoshveha. One is chen mekach al mekho, and one is chen isha al ba'ala. What does that mean? First, chen makom al moshvo means that Hashem will find favor. Hashem will give you a favor in the place where you're at. I was one time to make kids in a certain place in Pennsylvania. It was a very far place, and I remember I was going there, and I was trying to get a minyan in a certain place in Pennsylvania. And I saw was in a shul, there's literally 20 families in the whole community, and it was so small, it was really, really so small. And they had exactly a minyan of 10 people. So I said to them, I said to one of the congregants, I was like, why are you living here? You know what I'm saying? Go to New York, go to a place where go to a place where there's billions of Jews. Over here you're skirmishing for a minyan, and you're just making it and this and that and that. And then he tells me, I love this place. I just love this place. There's a chen of a makom al yoshveha. Some people, they just love a certain place. Hashem gave them a chen for it. You have a bet midrash. You have a shul. Sometimes a person has favor in this shul. Why do you love the shul so much? I can't explain it. It's just there's a charm that I have when I come in. I feel at home. It's a chen that Hashem, chen al mekomo. You just feel a charm. I don't know, I just feel welcome here. I feel good over here. So it's a chen. Hashem puts that in. There's another chen. And what is that? Chen of what? Of mekach al mekho. Which is what? When you buy something, the person has a charm on it. You buy a suit. So you like it. But you come to shul, the guy thinks you're a bozo. Like, what does the guy come? What kind of suit do you buy? But you feel so good, I bought the best suit. And that's why if somebody asks you, how do you like my suit? You can't say, the truth, it's off. He's so happy and telling me it's off. He just bought it. He paid $1,000 for the suit. You know it's off. How are you going to do that? The answer is, in his mind, it's great. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. And chen isha al ba'ala. What's chen isha al ba'ala? That means when a wife, after they get married, all of a sudden there's a special chen that Hashem brings down, that the husband has a special love for the wife, a special chen that he has. Before Harei Mekudesh Eli, it was, Haki Balash, I'll get you, a cook, hang out, take it. But once you get married, you do anything for your wife, right? You do anything for your wife. There was a story going around. I don't know if you guys heard the story. There was October 7th. There was a massacre. Everybody knows what happened, massacre. And there was a lady in the massacre. She called her husband. I just got shot, I don't know. And he went out. It was in that moshav, in that kibbutz. And when he did it, he went out like this. He took a gun, and he said, I'm going. And they're like, and the cops were there blockading the thing. And I'm making this happen. And he said he went, and he saved his wife. It was he said it, he explains it detail by detail by detail by detail. He took a gun and he was shooting it. The bullets fell. He killed the guy. The bullets fell off. He didn't have any more bullets. The guy that he killed, he took his gun and he kept on shooting other people. So those guys died and they took their guns and he shot. That's what happened. You didn't hear the story? That's what happened. He went. So how do you do that? He has so much love for his wife. He's like, I need my wife back. I'm going to get her back. And where does that come from? It's a special love that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a chen, a charm. He loves his wife. You say that, why do you love your wife so much? Like, what's going on? Why are you so in love with her? Like, why? The rabbi, she's my wife, 30, guy. That's the truth. One time I was with somebody, it was an Italian guy, it was on one of the blocks, it was an amazing thing. And then, so he said a comment or something like that, your wife's, whatever. So the guy says, listen, I will always, anything from her, anything. Like, wow, the love is so great. What is it? Hashem puts a special chen that a person loves his wife. It's a special chen that he has, right? It's a special chen. You have that? He's like, not in my area. But that's what it is. So now the question is, how do you get that chen? How do you get that? So really the pasuk is saying to us, what is the pasuk saying? If you look at the pasuk clearly, pasuk says, Ele toladot Noach ish tzaddik. Tzaddik, we use it as a terminology. There was one tzaddik. Who was that? Yosef tzaddik. Why do we call Yosef the tzaddik? Because he passed the test of immorality. He always called tzaddik, and we know that. Noach, how does he have zechin isha baba? He's tzaddik, so therefore he holds the morale. That's how he gets the chen of having loyal. That's what it is. Tamim, what's tamim? Tamim is honest. He was never stealing. It's teaching you that what you wanna have a chen on the items that you get. Yeah, pay for it, do the right thing. You'll get it. You'll have it. And the next thing is Hitalech Noach Hashem. He says the third thing is that Noach walked in front of Hashem. He had emunah in Hashem that what? The place where he has to be, that's the place where he's going to be. Again, I'm going to repeat that. How does he have that chen isha bala? How do you get that chen, husband and wife? Through being tzaddik, through being moral, through being yashar, through being straight. How do you have what? Noach. How do you have the tamimut of what? Chen al mekach, on the things that you buy. When you purchase it honestly, you get special barakah on that. And the third thing is what? The emunah that he had, which was the chen of the makom. Hitalech Noach. He walked in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hitalech Noach, showing that what? Even the emunah that he had, this is the right spot at the right time. So therefore he had a chen, he had a charm wherever he was. This is the right spot to be. And therefore, Rabotai, you have to know these three chens. You have to remember the three lessons that we learned tonight. I'll just repeat it just to recap. First thing is, what does it mean? He was a tzaddik in front of Hashem. Tzaddik in front of Hashem is that even though in the daughter of Noach, people were stealing, and they were stealing less than they were obligated to get caught in the Beit Din, so people thought they were tzaddik when they left the Beit Din. But in front of Hashem, they weren't tzaddik. Noach was a tzaddik in front of Hashem. You have to be a tzaddik in front of people and a tzaddik in front of Hashem. You can't fool the people and you can't fool Hashem. The second thing we learned was what? What was the second lesson? Keshet. What's the purpose of the keshet? Not just a rainbow. Keshet comes from the Kriyat Shem and the Torah. Why did this all happen? What's going on? What is this going on? Remember, if the Yetzer Hara is getting crazy, Keshet, Kriyat Shema, Torah. And the last is what? Is the lessons of the chen. How do you get that chen? the chen of Isha Ba'ala, the chen of Makom HaMekho, and the chen of Makom HaMekho is where you have the emunah. Okay, Rabotai? Stop it here. I'll tell you one more thing, please, after.